Hello everybody, it's me back again, Alison from Engli-teach, and today we're going to complete the third part of our module of lessons on prepositions. So today we're going to look at prepositions of movements. Now, as you remember, prepositions show the relationship between a noun and a verb in a sentence. They're very useful and they help to glue the sentence together as well as giving extra information, more specific detail, and also to add additional features into what we're trying to communicate. Now, prepositions of movement are all about prepositional phrases where we're talking about moving, either an object moving or a situation moving or a person moving, anything that is moving. We're going to look at some examples. But before we do, we're going to look at exactly what a preposition of movement is specifically. Now, prepositions of movement or direction, okay, straight on, to the left, to the right, behind, in front of, up, down, those are all movements, prepositions of movement, and they are used to show movement from one place to another, okay, from one place to another. These prepositions are most often used with verbs of motion and are found after the verb. So this is quite interesting because, as we all know, verbs are a doing word, yes? Verbs, you're going to expand your knowledge by using the correct verb along with the correct preposition, okay? Often learners choose the correct preposition and the incorrect verb, or the correct verb and the incorrect preposition. So hopefully this is going to provide you with some examples where you can start to understand how you successfully marry the two together. Okay, hopefully you can see me just peeking over the top. All right, we're going to look at the preposition along, along. It's not a and long, well, technically stuck together, but it doesn't mean a and long. Along means when there is movement, normally in a line, even mentally. Oh, how are they going? Oh, they're moving along slowly. How's the project going? Oh, it's moving along slowly. It's normally used to express a movement of an orderly fashion, okay? Let's give you an example. They rode along narrow country lanes, okay? So they're riding along narrow country lanes on horses or on bikes. So along is used to show movement in a straight line. From is another really useful movement preposition. From. I've put it in capitals here just so you can see it really well. But from is used to show the starting place of something. What time does the flight from Amsterdam arrive? What time does the flight, can you see it right down the bottom here? From Amsterdam arrive. What time does the flight from Amsterdam arrive? Put it in green here. From, okay? From Amsterdam arrive. Okay, another useful example, and I'm sure you've heard this a lot. I did when I was living as a foreign person in France for a number of years. What country do you come from? What country do you come from? Can you see? What country do you come from? So If you've come from somewhere, that's the starting place. Okay, that's where you started. I came from Egypt. I came from India. I came from Spain. Which country did you come from? Around is a very useful preposition. They're all very useful. But around can mean two different things. It can physically mean around, going around. It's my phone. Going around. I did a circle. I drew a circle around my phone. Okay? Her hair whipped around her face. Her hair whipped around, so all around her face. Okay? Her hair whipped around her face. Another one is, this is quite a good one. He is giving me the runaround. Yeah? He is giving me the run around. Now, this means that, let's just say a girl was quite interested in a boy, or a lady was interested in a man, and she kept calling him, and he was, not really interested one day, but then would call her and be very keen the next day, and then the following day he was not really bothered. So the lady would be thinking, he's giving me the runaround. Yeah, he's sending me in circles. He's sending me in circles, which means basically giving me the runaround. Yeah? Around. Very useful. Okay, the next one I'm going to go on to is onto. So many learners get confused by this particular preposition. And by that, I mean sometimes learners will say into or to or in. Now, onto, if you use the preposition onto, we use it to talk about movement to a position on a surface. So say you have object 1 and object 2. Object 2 moves onto, so places itself onto object 1, okay? Moves onto. I slipped as I stepped onto the platform. The platform, yeah? And platform is you know when you take a train, yeah? You have the platform. You wait on the platform. You stand on the platform, and then you get onto the train, yeah? You step onto the train. Quite often I will hear learners say, I step into the train. I step onto the train, okay? Up, up. Okay, up is a direction, yeah? I talked about at the beginning, a directional preposition, or a preposition that shows direction. Now, up is when we go up. I looked up. The plane was up in the sky. So up is always a movement of a higher motion. She doesn't like riding her bike up these hills. She doesn't like riding her bike up these hills. I looked up to the sky. I looked up to the sky. Are you noticing that the verb is in front of, the verb, is in front of the preposition on all of these examples. I looked up to the sky, her hair whipped around her face. Let's have a little summary. Okay, so let's have a little look at the main 4 sentences I used today. Number 1, I looked up to the sky. So looked is the verb. Okay, this is the verb. And up is the preposition. I'm just going to put prep, but you know I mean preposition. Excuse my childlike writing. Okay, her hair whipped around. So whipped is the verb, around is the preposition. Okay, it's the hair is whipping. So whipping is the doing word. I looked is the doing word, so it's a verb. Where do you come from? Come is the verb. From is the preposition. In fact, I'll circle the prepositions. Here we go. I'll circle the prepositions. There we go. Whipped around her face, looked up to the sky. They rode along. So rode is the verb, past tense of ride, and along is the preposition. Okay, now here is the pattern, and that's why I've written it like this. Every single time we have used a movement preposition, up, around, from, along, the verb is placed before the preposition. Verb, looked, whipped, come, along. Now I've highlighted this because often learners of English have great difficulty in the structure of the sentence or getting the order of the sentence, and by that I mean the preposition after the verb. And this is completely fine because you're learning English, and that's fine, but I've just highlighted it to show you this is the correct way to write it, and this is how you construct it. This is the correct way to construct it. So hopefully you remember the pattern, and you will be able to construct these types of sentences correctly, remembering that the preposition comes after the verb. Now, if you're not sure or you're wondering what some of these verbs are, I have actually also written down a little explanation of what they all mean. And here they are. So looked is obviously looked with your eyes. Looked is when either you direct your gaze, okay, movement, you direct your gaze, or someone directs their gaze at you or at something. It's important to note that when you use the word looked, you're indicating a specific or specified direction, okay? Glanced is just looking, glanced, oh, I glanced. What did she do? Oh, she just glanced. So that's when you look quickly and look away. But looked is when you are a little bit more specific. Whipped is a beating movement, okay? So maybe, I whipped with the lead, or her hair whipped around her face, okay? All right, whipped is like a beating movement, okay? Come is, you use the verb come when you're indicating movement again. So all of these verbs, okay, are indicating movement, okay? They are all describing movement. Okay, come, move or travel towards the speaker or towards the object within the sentence. Road. Now, road is the past tense. I don't want to go too much into tenses today in this lesson, but road is the past tense of ride. Yeah? I can ride a horse. He rode a horse. Past tense. So when you ride something, you normally sit on something and you move in a regular and controlled movement. For example, I rode my bike, I rode the horse, I rode the scooter, okay? So rode is when you sit on something and move in a controlled movement. Okay, so there we go, guys. A little bit longer than our normal kind of 10 minutes, 16 minutes. But I just wanted to really give you the final part of our little lessons on prepositions. I hope that has been really useful to you. Thank you so much. I've seen in my group lots of questions, and some of you have even posted up some videos for me of you speaking, which is great. Thank you so much. I am going to work through them myself this evening, and I will be answering them and posting back. So thanks so much. And as always, let me know what you need help with the most at the moment, or what you're struggling with when it comes to learning English, because it helps me to create a more meaningful and useful lesson for you. So thank you everyone so much. Thank you so much. Speak to you soon and see you next time in Engli-teach, where I take my time teaching you English every day. Goodbye.